What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing a full backtesting session on GBP JPY, showing you guys exactly how I enter, manage and exit trades. Basically, I'm showing you my full entire trading strategy for free. I hope you guys enjoy. Stick around to the end. It'll be a value packed and insightful video. We've just gone and set up a new simulation here, which we're going to do right now. We're going to go GBP, JPY. We're going into April, right? So let's do April 2023. We'll start on the second week, considering we are going into the second week. So let's start on the 9th. And so pretty much the exact same as the week we're going into. Rewinding not allowed. Let me just set the time. Eastern time, and I just want to make spread fixed because sometimes it gets a little annoying when there's so many. And we can skip over this part. I'll just add all the charts. Okay, so we are all set up. If we look at our sessions over here, we're going to be trading from about 1:30 EST, so about an hour and a half before London Open. We're going to be trading London Open this hour over here, and then on a normal day I would sort of take a break between these 2-3 hours where I just set alerts and then go about my day, and then we'll come back for pre-NY, so about 6:37, and trade NY Open all the way up to 9 and sometimes NYSE. Okay, but obviously it depends on volume, but that's the hours we're going to be trading. You can see the time up here and day of week. Over here we have our dashboard where we can sort of enter our lots, enter our trades, and we can go from there. I've also set up news. So if we look on the 15-minute, dashed lines like this are going to be US dollar and GBP and JPY high impact news. And we're obviously not going to be trading into that news. We're going to wait till after. Okay. If you guys are very unfamiliar with the way I trade, I suggest maybe you go look at some of my older videos, like my trade reviews, and you can see how I trade using price action. But yeah, we're going to keep it very simple today. And I want to show you guys how I actually sort of enter trades, manage risk, think about price, and how I just go about it. Okay, we've sort of accidentally just skipped over the first 4 hours. So we skipped London, but that's fine. So let's look at this daily here. We can see we're in a range, right? Definitely in a range here between these two levels. We also have this daily support over here. Okay, I just want to note this level. It's not going to impact my trading heavily, but this previous support, I just want to note it, okay? Then we have the 4 hour. We can see we're pushing bearish at the moment. So obviously our bias, we have the daily closing bullish and the 4 hour closing bearish. So we're in a bit of a mixed session, okay? We're not going to, just look for buys or just look for sells. Price could go anywhere from here. It's 50-50, okay? I just want to mark this 4 hour level here. And on the hourly, we can see it's a similar story. We have this big resistance up here, and then we also have some clean range above that level, okay? 30-minute, we're pulling back deep, and 15-minute, big pullback as well. So let's just see what price does here. Interesting, okay? But yeah, I don't really feel like trading in this range. I think it's a bit all over the shop, this range. So let's just see what price can give us here. Okay, so this is the 4 hour level up here. Okay, so we can see we're trading above that 4 hour level. Oh, this is the daily level, right? Okay, so that's the daily level. Hourly, we've pushed and closed above, right? 30-minute closed above, 15-minute we have not closed above. Okay, so because we're trading into the daily, I'm going to start looking for buys above this. That way we'll be above the 4 hour, above the daily, above the 15. I just think that's a much simpler approach. Okay, so we have clean range to there. So now we have 4 hour pushing, closing above these levels, daily pushing above, 30-minute pushing above. I just want to see if we have some structure to rely on that price can respect. Because we've already had quite a big push, right? We've already had this massive push. For that reason, I may just wait for a pullback and then a continuation. Because if we think about the sessions, right? We're in pre-New York and we've already had a big push, a 43 pip push. right? So you got to think about it in terms of how much does a session push on average, and 43 pips, that's quite a big push. Okay, so I'm gonna wait for a pullback, and hopefully we get a bit of a pullback here. This is interesting. 4 hour you're pushing above, daily you're still below. We could think about taking buys up here on the retest these levels, but I don't like how we're trading right into this daily resistance, right? Everything else looks good, but I don't like that we're trading right into the daily resistance. So for that reason, I'm just going to wait. Maybe we get a pullback and then a close above. There we go. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, that could have been a nice trade, but I don't like how that daily resistance was in the way there. Okay, now we have a nice breakout on the 15 minute. We have clean range everywhere else. We've had some nice structure that we can rely on. 30-minute breakout as well. Hourly breakout, hourly close above, 4 hours above, dailies above. Okay, so I do like this. Let's see what price can do here. I just want to see how big these wicks are. 3 pips. So we may as well just wait for the break of that wick. Alright, let's see. Okay. So, we're pushing above. We got a 15 pip stop to the previous candle. And we're going to enter buys right here. In terms of where we need to look at be even and take profit, we have very clean range, right? So we can't sort of rush into this. We have nothing really telling us price is going to reject, okay? We can maybe look at these 4 hour wicks to see how price reacts at those levels. But ultimately, we're quite clean, okay? So we just need to see how volume reacts and go from there. If we get a closure back below, we'll obviously manage risk. Can speed this up a little. So it's still only 2 minutes into this candle, so still very early. We'll see how price sort of reacts. If we get a heavy rejection, I don't think it's worth, at this stage, we're up. How much are we up? 8 pips. It's bigger than I thought. Okay, so I don't think, you got to think, is it worth taking a losing trade here? No, right? You don't want to take a losing trade. At most, you want to manage risk using sort of these levels. Well, we can't really. So we're just going to see how price reacts. If it starts coming down heavily and failing our entry, we can look to close break even. But there's nothing telling us, you know, we need to close here, right? Okay, we're pushing. Let's see how the 5's looking here. So now we can use this 5 as a sort of level for our TP, right? We've had a nice close. There's still nothing telling us we need to close. We have volume, but we don't want to get nothing from this trade. So let's see what the 5 does here. If the 5 starts rejecting, we can think about closing. Okay, we're still pushing. Okay. Let's see. It's always tough when there's not any sort of ranges to the left that you can use as your TP. But in these situations, I sort of just see how volume reacts and go from there. Okay, you definitely don't want to get nothing from these trades. We're at 20 pips right now. Okay. There's still no reason to close. So what I'm going to do here is just trail on the 1 minute. Trail aggressively on the 1 minute. So if we get a strong rejection, we're done, right? Okay. If this breaks the low, we're out. There we go. We're out. Out. We could close 80% because ultimately there's no real reason to close. And we're still pushing nicely, but we're at break even. Let's see if we can get some runners, right? Nice. Okay, I'm going to close full here. We filled the range. You can see on the 4 hour, push nicely. What level was this? Oh, this was the 4 hour wicks. Okay, but end of the trading day, I'm out. If it goes, it goes. Okay, we're done. That was a very nice trade. So all we did was sort of wait for the daily to push above these levels. We had 4 hour closing bullish as well, and then we had the break of the high as well. Hourly closed above. We had clean range, simple breakout trading, right? And this is what volume does. If you have good volume, you have structure to rely on. So see how here we had this big push and I didn't want to enter because we didn't have any structure, right? Price can push down as much as it wants, but once it creates this structure, creates a breakout, we have all of these levels on the higher time frames to rely on, we can start thinking, okay, if we can respect this structure, we have a very good chance and probability of price continuing. And it's also hard when, as I said, you don't have any, if we look here, you don't have any sort of ranges to the left that you can utilize as a TP, which is a blessing and a curse because it's harder to manage risk, but it's also more probability price is going to continue your way. But very well managed. Managed that nicely on the 1 minute. You can see we sort of just held until we saw volume start to die off and held some runners. So nice trade. Let's go to the next day. But that was just patience. That was taken in NYSE, so late New York. If we look at sessions, it was taken at, I believe, 10. Yeah, so taken at 10. So we're just sort of after NYSE open. NYSE is at 9. We entered an hour after that. Okay, so still good volume. Nice trade. Let's go to the next day. Let's see what price does here. Okay, so that's the new daily close. We closed above previous resistance. Nice breakout, rejected these levels. Nice bottom wick. We can attack this wick. So there's a good chance price, if we can make a nice pullback, good chance price can come up and fill this wick. Okay, then we get down to the 4 hour. And what do we see? We obviously have closed above resistance over here. We have a level of support that's now been formed. We have some resistance to the left, but we still have a nice range to fill. And this is that daily wick. Okay, this is that daily wick just on the lower time frames. So then we get down to the hourly. We start seeing we have some more resistance to the left here. And if we can start pushing above these levels, we could be in for some more buys. Okay. Okay, and then we have our 15 level in here. I would like to see a daily pullback, but it's still very early. So let's see what price does. Interesting. Very interesting, this. So obviously we're just looking at buys. We're not trying to, sells don't make sense. We've had bullish 4 hour, bullish daily. Everything's bullish. It doesn't make sense to try and take sells. If we look at the hourly here, we can see we've rejected previous support. 30-minute, similar story. We've started heavily rejecting these levels. If you look on the 4 hour as well, we tried to come down below this support, but price rejects. Okay. And what we've had is a very nice sort of fake out. So price, is it a fake out? Yeah, it is. Okay. So price try to come down, and now we have this sort of pullback into structure. Everything's bullish. We only have 7 pips. That's the only thing. We don't have heaps of range. If we look at the 5 minute, let's see if we have a, yeah, we do have a sort of a change of structure to a bullish. Let's see what price does here. I'm not the biggest fan of all this noise to the left, but we can enter an aggressive position and sort of be aggressive with our break evens and risk management. Because You know, we've had a 30 closure back above all of these levels, rejected these levels. Everything's bullish. There's a good chance we're going to push up at least to fill this 15-minute range. So let's see what price does. Whoa. Okay, break of the high, break of this high, we could look at entering. Okay, and then manage risk sort of very quickly at these levels. Okay, I'm going to enter here. I like this. Stops will be about 17. And we'll go from there. We're going to manage risk quite aggressively here. If we start rejecting heavily at that 15 resistance, we need to think about our position. Okay, so that's 2 pips up, which isn't much, but again, we can't just ignore the fact that we're pushing right into resistance over here. Okay, in terms of TP, we're going to target these levels here, but what I'm going to do now is go on the 1 minute and just see how price is reacting to this level. Okay, if we start rejecting heavily, there's no reason to have this as a losing trade. Okay, so let's see what price does here. Okay, we're pushing nicely. 15-minute pushing above these levels. If we get one more push, I'm going to go be even. Okay. Be even for sure. Let's see if we can fill this range. Okay. That's very nice. We've pushed and filled the range. There is a good chance with volume this can continue to push through this level. We have clean range to the left. Also, we have some 15 resistance over there. But yeah, 30-minute, we can see some nice structure. Very nice rejection. 4-hour would have flipped now, and we have sort of a target to these wicks. I'm just going to mark that as well. Let's go down to the 15. I want to maximize this trade, but I don't want to get greedy here. I'm just going to close full here, right? Going to close full. Obviously, it's a bit easier. You guys are probably looking and you're like, you wouldn't be able to do this in the live markets, but this is what sims are for, right? We see where's the best place to TP. But in a live trade, I'm thinking we filled this level. We got what we wanted. We wanted to get to this level and we got out. Plus, like, what's that? Obviously, we wouldn't be plus 10%. That's just because I think we're using a much higher lot size than what we should be. But we've only closed about 30 pips. So it's about, 3%. Okay, and it did close. So if you got this closure, this is when you start closing runners. Close 50% and wait for the continuation. Okay, there's a good chance you've had the break of structure. There's a good chance this can continue. Oh, never mind. Okay, so now we've closed again above that level. Pretty weak close. If you look at the 5-minute, yeah. Let's just wait and see what happens here. I don't like this closure here above this level. That's not bad. How's the 5? 5 didn't close above. Let's just see what the 5 does here. Okay, we're rejecting. Okay, so we heavily rejected that level. If you look on the 1 hour, you can see we had that 15 resistance up here and we've just rejected that level. Okay. Still very early, still pre-London. So that's a very similar sort of situation. Price came down to this level. We saw the rejections before. Everything's bullish. Now you're pushing up. But in this level, in this scenario, you don't have range, right? Unless you try and take the wick fill, which is very dodgy on a sort of support or bounce play. You don't have many options here. Okay. Let me just reset all these levels, take away all these drawings, and let's let's have another look at this market. So now you can see daily has tried to push up and rejected this level. We're heading into pre-NY. It's still very early. We have some 4-hour support that we're pushing through, which we rejected before. Okay, if we then look at the hourly, we can again see, let me just clone this. Hourly, let's have a look here. So we have some hourly that sort of matches the 4-hour. Then we also have another hourly support down here. Okay. In terms of sells, we need to keep aware that we've had a daily breakout. Okay. Previous 4 hours closed bearish, which is good for sells. But for me, until we start breaking below this hourly support, sells don't make sense. Okay. So let's see what happens. If you're aggressive, you could think about price pushing down to fill this range. But it's a lot, you know. Very heavy bullish pressure from the daily. 4-hour, we rejected this level before. This is a very much, look at this. Look at these wicks, okay. There's a very good chance price can come down and reject it. But saying that, you have had a closure below. Okay, so let's see what happens. And reject it again, right? All right. It looks like we're just heading into a big old range. So yeah, that was that strong rejection off that level. 15-minute, wow. This is interesting. 15-minute closing above. 4-hour, what did the 4-hour? 4-hour flipped, closed bullish. Okay, so this is quite nice. Again, it's late NYSE. Daily's pushing 4-hour. Hourly, let's have a look on the hourly. Hourly, we got clean range. 30-minute, we got clean range. 15-minute. 15-minute, we have clean range. Okay, we don't have a big bottom wick here on the hourly. We do have a little nipple, cold nipple wick. But we have some structure to rely on. If we look at stops, I just want to see what stops are doing. Can we fill this wick? Maybe. So we're looking at about 30 pip stops, right? We're not going to put stops here. Do we have some structure on the 5-minute? No, we don't. I may just leave this. I think, you know, we're up. We already took a trade today, and we're already up. I'm just going to leave this. I don't like this no bottom wick business, and I also don't like how big the stops are, right? This is a different story here. 30-minute, we have a potential wick fill as an aggressive option. Hourly, this is looking nice. We also have, this is what I call a head tail. So it's when price breaks out and then you have a bearish close or bullish close, depending on which way you're going. But you have this nice long rejection wick and then this body on top. And so you have the head and you have the tail, and all this indicates is we've come up, we've come down, we've created structure on the lower time frames, and then we've pushed up again. Okay, so we rejected these levels. So if price then breaks these highs, it'll just be a continuation. So if we look at the 5-minute, yeah, exactly that. Price comes up, comes down, reading candles backwards. We can obviously see on the 15-minute, that's going to be 5-minute structure, which we've held support. Good chance if we break above. Okay, let's see if we get a 5-minute closure above here. We do. Okay, I do like this. Only thing is 4 pips to wick fill. No bottom wick. If this can flip and go bullish, we can think about entering here. It's more of an aggressive option considering it's very late in the day. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna call it there. That sort of failed, that setup. You could still be in if you had safe stops. Let's see what happened. Yeah, ended up going, but it just got a little late there, right? We were trading about 10:40, 10:50, which is very late. But yeah, very simple. 30-minute breakout, wick fill if you wanted. Very simple trade. You also had this confirmation, then you had the next breakout. But yeah, just got a little late. We already had a nice trade. Good day in the end. Okay, so 2 trades plus 30 pips, I believe. Yes. Bit less, actually, because we closed partials here, didn't we? Yeah. So we're only up about 2%, which is pretty damn good in 2 days. Okay, so let's keep going. We'll go ahead to the next daily open. Yeah, so there you can see we, like we said, if we get a nice pullback and reject these levels and then flip, good chance we're going to fill this wick. Okay. In hindsight, maybe we missed some opportunities there on that trade we were looking at because it ended up being quite nice, but that's just the way it goes. Very happy with that day. Okay. Now we need to just keep going. So we have that daily sort of wick fill, which we have respected. So on the 4 hour, we can see we've closed above. Okay, so that's quite nice. Just going to mark this level. 4 hour. Okay, so we have some 4 hour support down here, which we have broken and closed above. Also closed above previous resistance, and we're looking very bullish. Okay, we have some hourly resistance up here. But remember, still very early. I think there's a good chance this daily again comes down and then continues up. Okay, but we can't just say because we've had this big bullish run, price is has to come down. No, our bias is very bullish at this stage. Okay, 4 hour close bullish. Hourly, we have some nice resistance to work with. Let's see what price does. 30-minute resistance, 15-minute resistance up here. I'm going to match that with the 30. Okay, so what we could think about here is, first of all, sells don't make sense. Second of all, we can look at the exact same play as yesterday. Okay, if we can come down, potentially down to this 4 hour support, start rejecting this level, we can try and aggressively attack price to push back up to these highs. Okay, but until we start seeing that pullback or a breakout, we can't really do much. There's too little information at the moment. Okay, so we've had a breakout now. This is the importance of bias, right? If you didn't have bias and you see this breakout, oh, this looks great. 30-minute, 15-minute range breakout. You push 5 pips and then, oh, wait, everything's bullish. Okay, so if you guys learn one thing from this video, one of the biggest things that helped my trading is using bias, using higher time frame bias. And very simple, just look at where price is going. What's the daily doing? What's the 4 hour doing? How's the hourly moving? And you'll get a clear picture of what you should be looking at, buy or sell, Okay, but now, if we keep it simple, we've had a nice breakout. Price created support, respected that support. 15-minute, we've had a breakout. We do have some wicks here, but we can look to fill this wick, okay, and then aggressively go be even at that wick fill, okay. We can't be scared of taking this, even though we're at sort of all-time highs on the sim. At least I think back in 2008 we were back at these 160 levels, but according to the sim we haven't been there for a while because we only have like 40 days of previous data on this sim. So let's see what happens. Hopefully we get a nice bottom wick. All right. Can't do much about that. Okay, there's no way you could have entered that unless you're taking it off the rip. Unless price creates a pullback and then he gives you an entry on the flip, very hard to enter that, right? Very hard to enter that. And if you're taking it off the rip, over time, I think I've tried it and you're going to get slapped, right? Because especially if it opens no bottom wick and you take it off the rip, price could come up all the way down here and then come down and reject that level, okay? So that's a very tough trade to take when it just opens and pushes off the rip. Sometimes you just got to let those go. Point proven, right? If it hasn't created a bottom wick, very good chance Price could push up, and unless there's heaps and heaps of volume and heaps of bullish bias, likely price is going to push up. You could get your trade, right? If you entered here off the rip, you got 10 pips, filled this wick, you could be happy with that. But risky move trading no wick just off the rip. Really got to know what you're doing. Ooh. Remember what we said? 4 hour comes down, respects this support. Daily, creating a nice bottom wick. Hourly, we're respecting this support. 30-minute, we're respecting this level. Also have a little fake out, so very similar to yesterday's trade, right? If we look at yesterday's trade, we had price push down to these levels. We had bullish bias, good chance we're going to push up. Okay, if we then go down to the 15 as well, we can see we've closed above this previous level. Okay, very simple. Very good chance price could push up and fill at least to these levels down here. Okay, let's see what price does here. Create a bottom wick. There we go. I like this now. Okay. We could wait for the break of these wicks just for some added confluence. Then we still have 6 pips to the top of this range to look at be even and risk management. And then we have a nice trade up. So let's see how price reacts. We have about 2 pips. I don't want to miss this entry. But it's just like, because we have those wicks to the left, we can just use those. Okay, I'm going to put a buy stop here because I can just tell price is going to shoot up here. So we go 1 pip buy stop, and aggressive stops could be 8 pips, but I'm going to go 20 and just manage risk. Is that a buy stop, or did that just... Oh, I accidentally put 20 instead of 1. Okay, delete last. So 1 pip buy stop. There we go, that's better. That's a pretty gross entry, but let's see if price can do some damage here. So this is the level we're looking at. And if we get a closure below, we need to be very careful with how we manage risk. Doesn't really make sense for price to go down back below this level. How's the 5 looking? 5, we're battling a bit. We are battling a bit. Okay, let's have a look here. So 15, we're pushing nicely. We do have some sort of structure on the 5 minute. So if you can think about the 1 minute, it's going to be some nice structure here, which we can use. If we find this on the 1 minute, we can definitely use this to manage risk. Okay, because this position is definitely not wrong. Okay, we're not wrong yet, but we need to realize we can be very wrong, and we need to see how price reacts and manage risk accordingly. Okay. We also have an hourly closing, so good chance price pulls back to create a bottom wick. Ooh. I don't like this big pullback. Oh yeah. Do not like this, okay? Do not like this. Hourly. That hourly open sort of slapped us, okay? That hourly open slapped us, okay? If we can respect these levels on the 1 minute and 5 minute, I'm happy. But if we start failing like that, that's a bit shit. That's a bit shit. I'm gonna exit here. How much have we lost here? 13 pips. That's pretty shit. I think we should have been more aggressive on that entry. We should have just entered here and used sort of these wicks to see how price is reacting, and then we could have scraped a break even. Instead of sort of trying to be very safe with it and enter on the break of these highs. But like, this doesn't make sense. Why? Like, it doesn't make sense for price to push down this much, right? It doesn't make sense. We broke the previous lows. We've already sort of respected this level. It doesn't make sense to just for price to do this. So I'm going to close full here. And if price rejects, we can look at a re-entry, right? All right. Well, that sucks. But we definitely have a re-entry opportunity. Okay, if price can start pushing above these levels, we have again that sort of head-tail situation on the 30, but we just need to be careful here. I'm going to go to the 5-minute and let's see what price does here. Still rejecting a bit. Okay, but yeah, I'm very happy with how we managed that trade. Unfortunate about that entry. I think in a perfect world, we should have entered on the flip because price gave us that opportunity. And then as it approached these levels, we could have seen sort of, all right, price is really struggling at these levels. We've had 1, 2, 3 5-minute closes that haven't sort of pushed through that level. If you look at the 1 minute, I believe we also would have struggled. Yeah, so you had that push. We would have entered somewhere down here. Price failed, and then you could exit there for close to break even, right? But yeah, we saved ourselves sort of quite a lot there. We had stops here, we exited here. So we saved ourselves like 7-8 pips. So pretty happy with that. Okay. Bit unfortunate that price didn't continue. That was a very nice setup. But yeah, we just had to be careful of this range to the left. Okay, let's go back to 15-minute. Okay, what's happening here? 4 hour, let's just get rid of all of this. This is actually going to be a long video. But I think this video will have a lot of sort of value in it. Especially if you trade similar to how I trade. Sort of seeing how we manage trades, how we actually enter, manage risk. I think this video will have a lot of value. So 4 hour, we can now see we're coming down below this structure. We've rejected these levels. Daily, yeah, we're in a very big pullback. Sells do make sense here, right? Previous 4 hour closed bearish. We're now pushing below these structures. Broken previous lows. Hourly, we got clean range. Got a level of support right here we need to think about. And also, that can be sort of our target. But until we break this hourly low, I'm not too keen on this. How's 15 looking? 15 also clean. We also have a level down there. So I'm going to just wait a bit here. Ooh, I do like that. I do like that. We now have about 3 pips, about 10 pips down to the bottom. Okay. We have a 30 close below. Hourly, we have clean range. Hourly closed below as well. So that's big. So hourly rejected this level before, but now we have the closure below. I think we have enough range to at least come down and fill this wick. Okay, this range, pardon me. Okay, let's see what price does here. It's not a good start. Okay, if we can reflip now, I like it. We should also be creating some structure on the... Oh, yeah. Nearly got me there. Okay, so obviously the 15 isn't that clean. Okay, we do have some structure here, but this is more on the higher time frames. 30-minute, we can see we're clean. I'm just going to mark this wick to sort of use. Hourly, we're clean. 4 hour, we're clean. Daily, we're clean. Okay, so although we have some levels on the 15-minute, we can rely on pre-NY volume here to push and at least get us down to here to go break even or manage risk and go from there. Okay, so let's go 15 pip sells, stop loss above previous 15, and we just need to be aggressive here because we have these 15 levels. Okay, but we can rely on volume to hopefully push us through here. There we go. Okay. That's very, very nice. Okay. But now, job's not done, right? Job is not done. We entered a trade knowing that we have 15 levels here. So now that we're in profits, we can't just switch off. We have to really sort of think about, if price rejects this level, does it make sense to hold on? Okay, because there's a good chance price could just not reject this, or reject this level. Okay, so let's slow it down, and we're going to see, do we have some 5 structure we can work with? We do. Okay, so let's see what price does here. Okay, that was nice. Nice and quick. How many pips is that? Honestly, you could just close here. Get your 7 pips. If you're using fixed lot like I am, 0.7%, right? You fill the range, you're heading into hourly resistance, 30 resistance, 15 resistance. There's a good chance price rejects here, considering the daily's bullish as well. Okay, I'm going to go on the 1 minute and see what price does here. If we heavily reject, or if we slow down, I'm actually going to really slow this down to give us a shot here. Okay, so now we can just sort of squeeze this. Let's see what price does here. If we reflip, we take our winnings, but we're pushing. Okay, we're pushing nicely through this level. How many pips are we up here? 7 pips, so still not much. You could just think about TPing here, right? You're below this level. Okay, I'm out. I'm not going to get nothing. 5 pips, 6 pips. Okay. Yeah, that was an interesting trade, right? We realized we had this level. We didn't have heaps of sort of range down to the bottom, and we needed to be careful with that. How far did we push in the end? 9 pips. Yeah, so you could have got your 10 pips. How did that end up looking on the 1 minute? So we have a deep pullback on the 1 minute, and then you come down again. Okay, so if you went break even, you would have been fine. Maybe you could have got your 10 pips, but yeah, I think in the end we should have just, as soon as it hit this level, take our profits and move on. But yeah, I'm happy with how I managed that. We had a good chance of price pushing through that level with volume, but we can't just ignore that level, right? So now we have some news coming up, CPI. So need to be careful. But overall, happy with that trade, right? Recovered half of the losses we had from the morning, and decent trade. Okay, I'm not going to trade this news. Let's just see what price does here. Wow. Okay. I'm not interested in this. Big 4-hour rejection. How does this look? Again, you're just moving into sort of heavy resistance on the 30, on the 15. Nice daily flip, but in terms of sort of what you're risking, you're going to be risking at least 25 pips to the nearest resistance, which is like 3 pips. So we had a long day. Time to move on, right? We'll do maybe the rest of the week. We'll see. But hopefully you guys don't find this boring, and it's actually quite interesting. Okay. Let's look what's going on here. So we closed Doji, which is always tough to trade. Is this bullish or bearish? Or it's bullish, okay? But we don't get much information from this. All we can see from this is the 4-hour, if we read candles backwards, came down, created support, and rejected. Okay, that's all we can really see. So bias, we're still going to be bullish, pardon me, right? So you can see came down, created support, pushed up. We've actually closed above previous 4-hour resistance. Have we, or just on? No, we have just closed above, okay? So sells don't really make sense unless we can start breaking down below these levels. But we just need to see what happens here. Hourly resistance, 30-minute. Let's see what's happening here. So similar situation. I think if we can start breaking above these levels, we can start looking for buys. But it's always tough when the daily closes doji. It's always tough. What news is this? GDP, I assume that's British pound GDP. So careful with that. Range. Nice liquidity grab. Never mind. Okay, let's see here. 4 hour has just closed below previous support. Interesting. Hourly. Nice rejections. 30-minute. We have clean range at least down to these levels here. Hourly, we're also clean. Hourly, no, we're not. We have some levels here that we need to be careful of. So this range is pretty messy, right? We have hourly resistance right here, hourly support, which is 4 pips away. I do like this 4 hour close though. We could look again at sort of an aggressive trade where we look to just get to here and manage risk. But it's tough, you know, it's tough. This range is messy. Anything can happen in this range. I'm just going to let this one go. Yeah, I don't like that range. There's your liquidity grab. And then your continuation higher. Okay, we've broken above previous levels. 30-minute, we have a pushing above, hasn't closed yet. Hourly, pushing above. So we need to be careful here because we rejected this level quite a few times before. We do have this close above. Let me just close this. It's my dogs barking. Okay, 5-minute, let's see what's happening. Yeesh. This is a tough trade. Tough trade here because you've already had quite a big push, right? You've had a big push similar to that one we were talking about earlier. It would be better to wait for a pullback here, but there's a good chance with volume, especially because you've grabbed liquidity so nicely. You could just push through here. But what I don't like is this 4 hour hasn't created a bottom wick and the previous 4 hour closed below previous support. So I'm going to wait here and see if you do have 5 structure, don't you? Let's see what price does here. If we can get a head tail close on the 5-minute, which is that sort of small body, big wick rejecting this level. So it's like a retest on the lower time frames. I will get interested in this. But right now, there's not enough evidence that price is rejecting this level considering the higher time frames. Ooh, this is looking nice. Don't flip. Don't flip. Okay, this is interesting. So we now have this 5 creating structure. 15-minute will be on the flip. This wick is not big enough to fill. It's only 2 pips. I do like this. So this will be based on sort of the 15 closing above. Then you have the 5 creating this extra confluence, or not confluence, confirmation that price is rejecting this level. And we can go aggressive. I'm going to use this previous 5 as our stops and manage risk. I think it's about, how far is this? About 20 pips. Okay, I just want to see what this 5 does. Ooh, yeah. Okay. Buy. Ugh. Pretty gross fill. But yeah, like you can see, we're just sort of taking this on the 15, right? We have extra confirmation on the 5 with that closure, but essentially it's just a 15-minute breakout. I think, oh, we're at all-time highs, aren't we? Or all-time highs for this sim, yeah. So we need to manage risk carefully here. Okay, so we're pushing up nicely. I think we just need to be patient here. Give this some breathing room. But if we heavily reject, we can use this previous 5 structure to manage risk. Okay? But now we've created a 5 breakout from this level. We also have respected the previous lows and now broken the previous highs. So I'm starting to think about be even here. I don't like, there's no point losing this trade, right? So I'm going to go break even. There's no point losing this. We need to think, we have an hourly closing in a second, and hourly is likely, first of all, to leave a top wick. So we're going to see some pullback. Second of all, on the new hourly, we need to think, can we survive the likelihood that price creates a bottom wick and then flips? Even though we're bullish, we need to think about our position, right? If hourly close, chances are it's going to come down, create a bottom wick, retest those levels, and then flip. So we need to think, can we survive that? We're up 7 pips. Let's see. Still got a bit of time. I think I'm just going to go into aggressive sort of trailing here. I don't want to be too impatient with this trade, but I also don't want to get nothing from it. I think if we can start pushing it around 10, 12 pips, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. How's the 1 minute looking? Ooh, 1 minute's looking nice. Okay, 1 minute is looking nice. I'm not, if we start dipping back below 10 pips, I'm out, right? I'm out. I'm just going to close here, 10 pips, I'm out. Okay. You had the push you wanted. You had the push you wanted. You got to be careful with all-time highs, right? Price could go anywhere. You don't know. This isn't even all-time highs because back in 2008, GJ was up here, but it's not data on the sim. So in real trading, you would look back at those levels and see what price has done. But in this sim, we just have to manage risk based on how volume is reacting and how price is reacting. Okay, but let's look if we would have survived this. An option here is just to leave runners, right? Close 80% at that 12 pip mark and leave the rest at break even, and then see where price goes from there. But yeah, there you go. That hourly, even though you closed bullish above, it's very likely to come down and create a bottom wick. So let's see. This could be another entry here, actually. Oh no, never mind. Let's see what price does here. Do we have enough range here for a... No. 5 minute breakout. Let's just wait for the 15. Okay, I do like this. I do like this. So this is our sort of London push, and we just got the end of it. And now we have our sort of in-between push. We have our pre-New York push. It's still early, so if we look at sessions, still got about 2 hours till NY open. So we need to be a bit careful here. Maybe if we get a 5 closure above, but 15 closed above, we have a wick to fill that we can attack. Let's see if we get a nice bottom wick on this candle here. Stalling a bit. This is why sims are really good, I think. You know, if you were just backtesting, you would set your buy stop at the break of this high. If price goes, it goes. In sims, you actually have to see how price is reacting, especially with trade management, right? If we were on a sim or a normal backtest like bar replay, we would have entered our trade, seen that, and closed, right? But with a sim, you guys saw how much is actually going into managing trades, and it's not overcomplicated. We're just thinking how price is reacting to certain levels. We're thinking price is already pushed. We're right about this trade, right? We got it right. Do we want to take a loss when we got a trade right? No, right? We don't want to take a loss, but we also want to not choke it. We don't want to choke the trade. We don't want to not give it any breathing room. So we're looking at previous structure and looking how price is reacting at certain levels and how volume is behaving. Okay, but yeah, that's a bit off track. Let's see what this does. I don't like the look of this rejection. I'm thinking more if we get a 5 closure above. Yeah, so we're rejecting a bit. Okay, let's see what happens. I like this pullback. Okay, but yeah, if this pulled back a bit more and we had a nice closure, we could have taken the ride back up. But again, we don't really have much range, and we have news coming up. What news is this? PPI. So big news coming up. Not interested in sells at that level. We had the breakout, but like if you look 4 hours bullish, dailies, doji, it's a bit risky taking sells right off the bat there. Let's go back to 15-minute. Okay, big breakout, but we're trading into this shitty area here, so we're just gonna leave this. If you look at the hourly, it's clean. This is that level. Is this that level we took the small trade at before? No, it's a bit lower. So yeah, let's just skip forward here. I don't like this levels here. Maybe we get a pullback and we can go from there. Okay, so it did end up pushing down, but let's see, maybe below here you could have utilized the 5-minute. Yeah, you could have, right? So you could have had quite a nice trade. You had the 15 closure below. You had clean range to the left. If you look at the 30, you also had clean range. 4 hour, you had clean range, so you're breaking below that 4 hour. We should have taken that actually. Should have taken that on the 5. You had volume. If you look at the 5-minute, you had this structure created. You had the breakout here. So this is the 15 close, I believe. Yeah, so then you have that pullback, price creates 5-minute, and you can continue down from there. But again, that's a tough trade when you have to start using the 5-minute. But 5-minute is handy in high volume times. So you can see price pushing back. You need to think massive volume, everything's bearish. Previous daily close doji. Yeah, that was a decent chance there, but maybe I wasn't focused. I don't know, but it was just a bit. Did we take a trade that day? I can't even remember. Yeah, we did. We took the we took the breakout buys. Okay, last day. We're on Friday. We're going to Friday. Getting tired. It is actually quite taxing to just sit here and actually very deeply look at the market, what price is doing. Okay, so we're in a pretty nasty range here. And we don't want to give away our profits. Okay, we're up nicely for the week. Do not want to give away our profits. We need to recognize we're in a range. Daily is having a pullback. We're bearish. 4 hour is bullish. So we're sort of mixed here. We have some hourly resistance up here, which looks nice for buys. And similar level down here, which we could use for sells. Okay. 30, 15. Okay, so in this sort of 15, 30-minute range, leave the charts, just chill, you know? Just chill. It's 50-50 in here. Like, you don't know what's going to happen. Price can do anything. Then you have the breakout. Nice breakout. How's 4 hour looking? 4 hour was bullish previously, but we've now come down and closed below this on the 15 minute. Hourly pushing below, clean range, 30, we got clean range at least down to these levels here. We can see every time 30 closed below, push. 30 closed below, reject, but you never broke the low, right? Same thing here, 30 closed above, push. So let's see, how's this look on the 15? 15, we have again this level down here. And please don't crash. Please don't crash. Okay, we're good. So can we use this as a wick fill? We can. We can use this as a wick fill. So if we get a nice top wick, we can think about this trade. Very aggressive, and we need to think about sort of managing risk as we fill down to these levels, which is only 4 pips away for a 24 pip stop. But I like it. I like it. We just need to manage risk. We need to manage risk really well here. And we can't just sort of, similar to that other trade we took, where we didn't have heaps of clean range. Where was it? This trade, right? We didn't have heaps of clean range, but we had a shot. We had a shot down to that level. Okay, but now once we're in profit and we're at that level, that's when we really need to be honest with ourselves and realize we have a 15 level running into, which is also a 30 level. So we just need to manage risk really well here. We have a stop we can use. So if price flips, it has no business flipping. If it flips, it means it rejected that level and we're wrong. Okay. So let's see what price does here. I'm going to slow it down again. Whoa. Slow it down. Let's see how price behaves around this level. Just need to be patient here. See what price does. Okay, we've pushed and filled this range. This was the 30 level, right? 30 level. Hourly we still have range. 4 hour we still have range. 15. Okay, we could look at price pushing all the way down here, or it's Friday. You could just think 7 pips. I'll take it. 8 pips. Let's see. Maybe we can get another 1 minute squeeze. 1 minute push through. Let's see how price behaves here. Again, I don't want to sort of just let this go. So let's see. Okay. Nice push. Nice push. If this flips, we out. 8 pips, I'll take it. It did end up filling the range, right? So it did end up filling the range, but yeah, I'm very happy with that trade. Plus 8 pips, it's small, but yeah, we had to recognize that we didn't have heaps of room, and yeah, I quite like that trade. Very well managed. You could have held to the bottom of the range, but with what we had, the given information, 1 minute was rejecting, 5 minute, you had this 15 level and 30 level down there. You could just take it at break even, go from there. How much would you have got? 14 pips, right? And it continues. Okay, that's fine. We had our plan and we go from there. I don't mind this 4 hour. Let me just get rid of all these drawings. I think last trade, pretty tired. Daily 4 hour. This is going to be a long video, 4 hour. We have some levels here. What I don't like about this is we've rejected so many times before. So I'm looking at a potential sort of similar to that one other trade we took. to come down and fill this range. But what I don't like, first of all, heading into hourly support. 30 minute, how's 30 minute? 30 minute, we're looking good. We're looking good on 30 minute. 4 hour, look at these rejections. Reject, reject, reject. You have closed below, but still, big rejection area. Daily as well, you can see that huge rejection area. So you don't want to get caught up in this. Yeah, there you go. Does it make sense to buy here? No, right? 4 hours bearish, daily's bearish. Let's see what price does. If we can get one more pullback. Ooh. Interesting. Okay, so 15 closure above after news. What news was this? Retail sales. Nice rejection. So you can see we rejected that level once again. Daily rejected that level. Hourly. I don't like this hourly level. I don't like this entire range. This entire range doesn't look very good to me. Lots of noise. Lots of areas price could reject that. There you go. All right. That's the week done. We took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trades. 6 trades. I'm very happy with that week. 6 trades. We had some smaller ones. We had some good ones. This one was 35 pips. We closed a one lot. 35 pips. Minus 13. Plus 5. Plus 10. Plus 8. Okay, so yeah, very happy with that. It was a tough trading week because there was a lot of essentially we were just in this range, right? If you look at the 4 hour, it is quite a big range we were in. We obviously had this nice push on Monday. Was this Monday? I think so. Monday, and we capitalized on that. We got that nice continuation trade. But for the rest of it, it was very rangy, and I think we did quite well. If we look at some stats here, obviously the lot size we used was too big. A 5 lot on a $10,000 account on GJ when the base currency is British pound is huge. So I would never do that. But let's see. So stats. So we only had the 1 loss. Profit factor looking good. Number of closed trades 7, profit trades 6, loss trades 1. Right. So before you start accusing me of low risk to reward, this is what we're looking at. And you can see, even though our stop losses are much bigger most of the time than our TPs, we rarely ever let price go to our stops. We manage risk very well, okay, or very aggressively, okay. Look here, largest profit trade $500, largest loss trade 390. So risk to reward is positive on paper. It's just when we enter trades, we don't have that risk to reward. Actually, yeah, the risk to reward is negative. My bad. Long trades, yeah, pretty simple. I mean, yeah, very simple. There's not much else to that. That was just a nice, easy sim. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys can see sort of the most important part during most of this is my management, my trade management, how I manage trades, and also just keeping it simple, right? There were times we could have taken trades and been fancy on the 5 minute, but in the end, take our trades, wait for breakouts, look at what the higher time frame's doing, and we go from there. So please like, subscribe. I appreciate you guys watching to the end, and hopefully you guys learned something. Leave a comment if you have any questions, and have a good weekend and trading week.